The NASCAR Pinty series recently made its debut on a dirt track, and the racing product remained elite as per usual, with many insane battles throughout the field, and a certain young gun might be back in the hunt for a championship. Hello and welcome back to another NASCAR Pinty Series race review. It's Reegser here once again, and today it's a review of the PINTY'S 100 at Ohsweken Speedway in Ontario this past Tuesday evening, race 10 of 13. I mess those up all the damn time. The season just keeps getting closer and closer to the most pivotal point as 3 races now remain. We have a lot to get to in this one with lots of interesting headlines from both the entry list and the weekend's action altogether. To quickly recap the last race, the Pinty Series returned to Trois-Rivières for a 60-lap Grand Prix featuring delays from Mother Nature, wild racing, and road course ace finally scoring his first career win while the Dumoulin brothers tangled in dramatic fashion. DJ Kennington's second place finish put him in first in points, just 3 ahead of Marc-Antoine Camirand. With that out of the way, now it's time to discuss and analyze the first sights of NASCAR's Premier Canadian Series running on dirt for the first time. Let's pivot to the entry list for Ohsweken, which has quite a diverse lineup when it comes to different racing backgrounds. Obviously, track owner Glenn Styres had to have himself in the race. Although his first full-time season in the series has been a rough one on asphalt, hopefully, Styres would rebound where his usual racecraft resides. NASCAR and dirt racing legend Ken Schrader, who is also a dirt track owner himself, was announced to drive the number 3 car for Ed Hackinson Racing. He has raced many times at Ohsweken Speedway both in the past and this year, so he is very well known and much appreciated for his passion in motorsports. Trevor Monahan was a late and surprising addition to the entry list in the number 4 car. From Hamilton, Ontario, driving in a Dodge with help from Glenn Styres and Larry Jackson by the looks of it, he appears to be a super late model driver across Ontario. Raphael Lessard returns to the number 8, hoping to update his own dirt racing resume, which he goes out and dominates on local dirt tracks in, I assume, Quebec and maybe a bit of Ontario. Of course, there's also Stuart Friesen, a former World of Outlaws winner at this track when that series raced there, and a current NASCAR Truck Series driver. It's not surprising to see that he was put in a 22 racing car, so having Alex Tagliani and Trayton Lapsevich as teammates is definitely a good thing. Local drivers Dave Bailey, Michael Goody, and Aaron Turkey make their Pinty Series debuts, and the number 64 car goes through a bit of a driver change. Remember when Cup Series driver Christopher Bell was planning on coming over? Yeah, unfortunately, travel problems caused David White to have to choose another driver, and he picked Jake Sheridan, a young gun of the APC United Late Model Series. Let's just say, he made the right choice. Oh, and by the way, DJ Kennington got a nice new look. It's purple instead of green. Interesting. Pinty's action actually got started on Monday night, being combined with Ohsweken's own local racing on both nights, as there was a 30-minute hot lap dash with whoever in the field wanted to go for a nice cash prize with the fastest times. None other than local man Aaron Turkey scored the fastest single time, earning himself a nice couple thousands of dollars. In a 30-minute practice session on a late Tuesday afternoon, Marc-Antoine Camirand kept his oval skills in hand despite the surface difference, beating Trayton Lapsevich by a difference of 0.106 seconds, while Ken Schrader impressed in 3rd place. 3 qualifying heats were done to decide the starting lineup, with the pole going to the winner of the first one. Marc-Antoine Camirand would win it, with DJ Kennington winning Heat 2 and Ken Schrader winning Heat 3. Some other notable parts of the lineup include Gary Clute in 4th, Stuart Friesen in 6th, and Jake Sheridan in 10th. Beginning with a 4-wide salute, which is the norm for most dirt tracks across the continent, Camirand led the field to green while the broadcast chose to be choppy as heck for a little bit, so fans couldn't even get to watch the first couple of laps. It eventually returned back to normal, and the racing was immediately entertaining, with near 6-wide racing at one point. Also, 10 out of 10 number placements for Camirand throughout the race. He went from Larry Jackson to, I think, Alex LeBay. I don't know if he ran 36 back in his old days. I'd probably have to check that whenever editing. Trayton Lapsevich had a very close call near the halfway point, as Wallace Stacy went around in turn 4 on the inside line, right in front of the 20 car. Considering where we'll be discussion-wise later in the video, that could have definitely changed a lot of things. Lapsevich became the new dominator of the field on the restart as he passed Camirand for the lead and stayed there for good, while behind him started to turn into a melee. Especially with 2 drivers in particular. Remember the finish at Motorsports? Yeah, I guess the way to put it is that Gary Klug got his revenge on Kevin Lacroix. I'm not saying it was intentional, like seriously, but it's a funny idea, you must admit it. A short time later, trouble occurred in the middle of the field and towards the back, as Alex Tagliani went around on the front stretch with what appeared to be some damage on his right rear end a few seconds prior, and about 4 to 5 cars came together in turn 4, including a hard hit for JP Bergeron against Aaron Turkey. We're not done with wild sequences though, not just yet. Ken Schrader slid through turns 1 and 2 a little bit too much on the inside, causing his number 3 car to go up and into the left rear tire of Rafael Lessard, sending the ICAR around with a flat wheel. Then, seconds later, he's slow on the outside line heading into turn 3, with the lead pack approaching fast, and he nearly caused Marc-Antoine Cameron to slam right into the back of him. With what most hoped to be the final restart at 17 laps remaining, Trayton Lapsevich and Stuart Friesen fought back and forth, not letting either one get away or by. And then as soon as they get to 2 laps remaining, Lessard spins again. The same pattern continues, you watch and enjoy the finish.
Lapsevich on the outside, Friesen on the bottom. What games will they play here coming to the green?
Well, Friesen right up alongside that number 20 of Lapsevich. He's been for a restart. Contact in turn number 2. They'll race down the back straightaway side by side. Lapsevich and Friesen each driving deep into turn number 3 looking for bite. The white flag is being displayed.
Across the line they go. Friesen working the bottom. Lapsevich up top. Here they go through 1 and 2 for the final time. Friesen's got a good run and a good launch off of 2 down the backstretch. Adam.
Trayton Lapsevich got a little bit loose going into turn number 1. That allows Friesen out front. Trayton Lapsevich crosses him over. Gets onto the throttle. Contact in turn number 4. They'll drag race side by side. Lapsevich takes the win. Friesen second. Jake Sheridan third. Holy moly, what a finish.
Wow. Exquisite, incredible, masterclass. Trayton Lapsevich has finally returned to victory lane after many races of poor luck, because for a while, it was as if his win at the season opener at Sunset was something to forget about, and he was even like 30 points behind the leader, tied for 8th after Trois-Rivières. Now, he's tied for 3rd with Alex Tagliani, and we've got a tie for the points lead. I'm gonna halt this for a second because points related wise, there's just some massive news that just came out here. Remember when Alex Tagliani was penalized after Edmonton because of what he did to Brandon Watson, like that old payback thing or whatever? Well, about that, he just got his 12 points rescinded. Apparently he and the team sent in some form of an appeal or whatever, and yeah, the penalty was overturned. He just gained 12 points back. Now he's 3rd in points, 8 points behind the Cameron and Kennington, who are obviously, yeah, like I said, they're tied in points, so, yeah. So yeah, I felt like it made sense to have this update come through, and, thoughts? Thoughts? Oh, the season just keeps getting more and more dramatic, man. Alright, back to the regular angle, environment, whatever. Let's not jump too far yet, though. We still gotta review the race results. I had Friesen winning the race, so it's a bummer, I guess. But regardless, a great and unsurprising performance. Would you look at that in 3rd place? Jake Sheridan? That is a seriously underrated run by him, and it wouldn't surprise me if it has even impressed some of the team owners in the series to a certain level. Cameron goes from pole to 4th. Alex Tagliani and Andrew Ranger both struggled early, but they moved their way up and got a fair result. Ken Schrader comes home in 8th. Brandon Watson concludes the top 10. Kevin Lacroix jumps from starting 17th to ferociously finishing 11th. And yes, ferociously is a correct word for him from that race. And Aaron Turkey prevails after the incident with JP Bergeron. Alrighty then, now it's time to talk the points. Cameron and DJ Kennington are tied, with 3 races remaining. Oh good golly geez. With 2 road courses coming up, and the fact that they recently finished top 3 at Trois-Rivières, this is going to get close. 3rd through 6th remains in a close deficit, waiting for those tied men to be hit with something unlucky. And again, disappointment for LP Dumoulin, but his opportunity for a title might not be over just yet. Maybe. Gary Klut's recent finishes have caused him to fall towards the end of the top 10, where he's been very consistent with top 5s and top 10s from Sunset to Edmonton, where he was 3rd in points after that. But his last 4 finishes now have him tied for 8th. The way I'll put all of this, if the driver's at least 30 points back at this current point, there's still a potential shot. Lapcevich was 30 back before this race, and now he's 20 back. Although obviously that was 4 races remaining, now there's 3, so the number goes low, so yeah. Good finishes within the next 3 races that challenge Cameron and Kennington could really change things up, and where the series heads next, well, things could definitely change up. 3 races remain, a road course on a set of airport runways, a return to Motorsport, and a short track finale at Delaware. The one we're focusing on next, though, is Circuit ICAR. Circuit ICAR returns to the schedule, this time being later on the schedule while being the 4th race out of 10 in 2021. It's quite the facility, as it has a 2.1 mile long 16-turn road course, a 0.4 mile oval, a quarter-mile drag strip, 2 kart tracks, a drift park, and an off-road course. Jeez. I can guarantee you it's probably arguably the best motorsports facility in terms of training drivers and stuff, in all kinds of different backgrounds and stuff, especially in Quebec and maybe even in central Canada as a whole. Hosting weekly drag racing and multiple racing series, the Pinty series will, of course, drive on the road course. 16 turns at the Montreal Mirabel International Airport. The course has hosted Pinty's racing since 2011, with a hiatus in 2018 through 2019, and has always provided excellent racing and breathtaking finishes. It appears the 2021 race was 75 laps, although it was extended to 83 due to a series of incidents, so the lap count could be exactly that, or close to it. Based on how GP3R went, incidents are for sure to happen regardless, so... Andrew Ranger and Kevin Lacroix have dominated the track throughout its tenure, with Ranger at 4 wins and Lacroix at 3. The only other driver to win one besides Ranger and Lacroix was Robin Buck in 2011. Lacroix is the most recent winner, having won it last year, so the big question is, does he defend his 2021 crown and tie Ranger in career wins at ICAR, or could we see someone new join the history books? Marc-Antoine Cameron and DJ Kennington have been good in recent road course races. Gary Klut has been at the top a few times as well. Maybe a road course ace gets the job done like Alex Gannett at GP3R? What if Gannett gets on the entry list and wins again? Anything could happen with how dramatic this season has been, so stay tuned on my community tab for the entry list whenever it comes out. You can get all those prior questions and scenarios answered by remembering to tune in once again if you can, whether it's on tsn.ca, the TSN app, or FloRacing, which all do require subscription by the way, and continue to show your support for the NASCAR Pinty series in whatever way you choose to do so. So, that's gonna do it for this one. You got any thoughts? Leave them in the comments below. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this a thumbs up. My name's Reegser, or Reeks for short, and thank you for watching. Have a good one.